Hey folks, King's Drummer here, and on this video we're going to talk about Genesis. Now recently there's been a lot of Genesis love being spread across the VC. Lazarus did an excellent two-part video showing his Genesis collection. Derek also did a video showing his singles collection, part 1. And since the vinyl portion of Genesis has been well documented on the VC, I'm going to go ahead and just show my Genesis concert programs and various other things, just to jump in on the fun, because those two really inspired me to show a lot of Genesis. Now, I first went to see Genesis during the Invisible Touch tour in let's see, October 21st, 1986 at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. And I really hope you can see this. I'm going to attempt to zoom in on this. This is the concert stub from the very first Genesis concert I went to when I was just a little 16-year-old guy. There we go. The Oakland Coliseum Arena. The tour was the Invisible Touch tour. And what a great show that was. It's back when Bass was still selling concert tickets. It's Ticketmaster now. And I got to see Genesis. Get this, folks. The price of this ticket was $17.50. $17.50 to see Genesis in concert. That doesn't even park your car now, but back then it got you a concert ticket. And this was the program that I bought at the Genesis concert in 1986. This is the very program I bought at the Oakland Coliseum Arena on October 21st, 1986 to see what would become later my all-time favorite band, Genesis. And I'm going to try to find the ultimate photo to show you. I saw this. Folks, I saw this live in person, and it kicked much ass. This was a great show. I was 16 years old when I saw this. Me and my older brother went to go see this, and we drove on a very rainy night in Oakland to see this show. It was sold out just to see the guys of Genesis. And they didn't disappoint. It was a great show. Now, yeah, technically a lot of people prefer the Gabriel era. This was the Genesis pop era, but it was still a great show. And it was the Very Light tour. The whole concert lighting rig consists of Very Lights. And it gave you, if you saw this in person, I swear to God, it was a sight to behold. It was like the best light show. The In the Cage medley featured Supper's Ready and In That Quiet Earth. It was some amazing, amazing stuff, and I felt like I had seen like the best show of my life, and I was so inspired after that. I went and bought as much Genesis records as I could, tapes, and I was yet to get into CDs, and I just became a Genesis maniac after that. I just couldn't get enough of this band, and they quickly became my favorite band. So this was a tour program for the Invisible Touch tour, and it holds great memories for me. After that, the next tour I saw was for the album We Can't Dance. Unfortunately, I don't have that program, but here's the stub for We Can't Dance. And I'll zoom it in as fast as I can. I saw this in Sacramento on a very beautiful sunny day. Well, the evening became nice and cool. I don't think it was in the summertime, was it? Oh yeah, June 19th, 1992. And I have the bootleg for this very show in my collection, CD bootleg of this very show. This is when they had the big video screens. They looked like a drive-in movie screen. It was that big. It was the most inspiring show I ever been to. At first I wasn't a big fan of the We Can't Dance album, but once I saw the tour, I became a huge fan. And they they just blew me away. I thought it was a great show and just rocked my world, really. All right, so that was the We Can't Dance Tour in 1982. In 2007, my world got knocked over again. Genesis decided to do a brief reunion of the three-man era, which is basically the 80s era of Genesis. And I saw that show as well on October 9th, 2007. 21 years later from the first time I saw Genesis. So here we are, 21 years later, and I'm still going to Genesis concerts. I'm still insanely inspired by it. And here's the ticket stub. I saw him in San Jose, the Pavilion, where the professional hockey team, the San Jose Sharks, play hockey. That's why I saw Genesis on the Turn It On Again tour, October 2007. And what an amazing show that was. I took my best friend since high school, David, to the show. Dave is more of a punk and heavy metal fan, and I converted him into a Genesis fan that evening. After that, he wanted to borrow all my Genesis CDs, concert videos, and stuff like that, just to see the show. And I got that program as well, and here it is. Genesis Turn It On Again tour. I got the program from the net, from the day. It's a two-part program. This part deals with 2007. They had a very good light show and stage show and huge video screen behind the stage. $1 million stage. Big money production, and the set list consisted of songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. There was a good combination of the old and the new. Hopefully every Genesis fan was happy because there was all songs from every era represented. Unfortunately, except the Calling Mutations era, which never gets representative, but you know, hey. As far as what was Genesis between the 70s, 80s, and early 90s was represented on that show. And what a show it was. It was a fantastic show. Like I said, the video and lighting system is fantastic. And this program itself is just absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. I don't really go to it very often, but when I do, boy, boy, does it make its mark on you. I'm going to show every page on this one because the pictures on here are so awesome. And this really was a good show. I bought the official bootlegs online for this tour. I'll show this picture first. These are pictures of the crowd. Phil Collins flipping his camera during the show. The back part of this concert program deals with the history of Genesis. So we see a lot of older pictures from the 70s, early 80s, and it gives you a brief history of the band. And so on. I mean, I love this program because it's half what you're going to see in 2007, half what you've seen over 2 decades. You get 2 decades of photos and timeline in the bottom here. It really shows the best years of the band in pictures. So I love this program. For a Genesis fan, this is a must. You gotta have this because it just gives you a history lesson of why this band is so freaking awesome. History of the band. Fantastic show. A fantastic show. Those are more or less the 2 shows that I bought programs for. My very first concert ever was Phil Collins in the summer of 1985, June of 1985. I went to go see the No Jacket Required tour. I wish I'd kept the stub for that tour, but unfortunately I did not. but I did manage to steal a program. So here's the program from the Phil Collins No Jacket Required tour that I saw in June of 1985 in Sacramento, California at the Cal Expo Amphitheater. I believe it was, the date is listed here, it was on a Tuesday, June 11th, 1985. Because, you know, the tour is called No Jacket Required. There's these Taylor-related photos of Phil Collins and his band. Phil Collins and Taylor and these things. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping for a better program than that. But it's still funny, it's still lighthearted, and very comical. So I dug it. Let me actually give you some performance photos here. Here's some performance photos of Phil Collins from this tour program from 1985. Some rehearsing with his band. He took the Earth, Wind and Fire horn section. They were known as the Phoenix Horns on tour with them. In fact, there's a good photo of them right there. And they are an awesome horn section. If you listen to the album Hello Must Be Going, there's a song called The West Side that really shows off the talents of the horn section, especially the saxophone player named Don Myrick. Just fantastic, and it was a great show. And they got a standing ovation at the end of the show. At the end of the show, people were still applauding and cheering for more. They turned the house lights on and told them to go away. And then the local radio station played an hour and a half of Phil Collins music uninterrupted after the show, so we got to hear that in the car while we were driving home. It was a great night, and that was my first concert ever. Phil Collins, the No Jacket Required tour in 1985. Fantastic. I'm going to show one more tour program from Genesis. I didn't go to this concert. I didn't see a concert on this tour. I wish I had, because it looks so awesome. But this is from 1983 and 1984. Genesis and Mama tour. Show the back here, because there's a great picture on stage. And they really started using the Very Lights to get a really good concert look. There's the top part of it, there's the bottom part. Genesis was really great for concert lighting. They really were pioneers in this, because they helped develop the Very Light, which is now an everyday light used in concert performances. But they invested in this technology, and they were the first to sport it out on the road. And as you could see through these photos, they really, in 1983 and 1984, a lot of people never seen anything like that before, so they were breaking new ground with these concert lights. You can see here. Very awesome. And this program, well, there's a thing about sports here. As you can see, the guys don't take themselves very seriously, and there's a lot of sports pictures of Genesis dressed up as athletes. Very funny, but it's back to the music, back to the intense performance of Genesis. I really wish I'd seen this tour live. It would have been fantastic. The Mama tour, 1983, 1984, great stuff. I want to show a little, since this is the VC, I'm going to show some rare vinyl that I got from Phil Collins. This is the 12-inch single, and the 12-inch single is, the song on here is Don't Let Him Steal Your Heart Away, from the Hello, I Must Be Going album. That song is okay. It's not the reason I bought this, because the B-side on this is And So to F, by Phil Collins and the Fabulous Jacuzzis, recorded live at Perkins Palace in Pasadena, California, and that was Phil Collins' first in-concert video as a solo artist. And So to F used to be performed by his fusion band when he was in Genesis, Brand X. So, great song. I have a live version that only appears on this 12-inch single. I've never seen a vinyl copy of it anywhere else but here, so real happy to have that. And I have another very rare Phil Collins vinyl, Collins on Collins, The Interview. And this is just an interview disc. And as you see at the back here is a letter that was sent out from the Atlantic Record Company PR department to all the station managers or program directors around the radio stations around the country. They would deliver this disc. There was an interview with Phil Collins during the '85 tour, the very beginning of that tour. One side is questions and answers, and the next side is just questions. I mean, just the answers, excuse me. And, so you got the letter typed out describing what this album is. This only went to radio stations only. And the radio station, of course, would edit the answers and air them on their radio shows and whatnot. And in this collection, somewhere, not only do I have the letter that was typed out from the Atlantic AR department, they actually included a transcript of all the answers and questions asked on a 2-page document. So really, it's a half-hour interview. The first side is the questions and answers. The second side is just the answers. I got a letter from Atlantic, going to program directors around the country, and a manuscript of all the questions asked. So great stuff. I also want to show off some more Genesis stuff. Since we live in a digital world, I thought, since this is the VC, we always go to analog. I thought I'd show something that's kind of out of style here. My VHS collection of Genesis in-concert videos. So here's the Genesis Mama Tour from 1984 on VHS. And this is a great show. I love this show. The In the Cage medley is really good on this one. And it still works, and the sound mix on this is awesome. It was recently put on DVD through the movie box set, all the box sets of the remastered Genesis catalog. They re-released this on their movie box, which is just filled with concert DVDs. And also the half documentary, half concert footage of the Abacat tour, which was called 3 Sides Live. Came out at the same time as the album 3 Sides Live. And it includes interviews, backstage footage, and live concert footage during the Abacat tour for Genesis in 1981 and 82. This one is an in-concert video from the Invisible Touch tour, and this is called Genesis Invisible Touch Tour. This was filmed in Wembley Stadium July 16th and 17th, I believe, or 15th, 16th, and 17th, 1987. And this is when Genesis was the biggest band on the planet. You had 3 sold-out nights at Wembley Stadium, the same stadium that hosted Live Aid. And this is filmed on 3 sold-out nights. Great concert video, an amazing performance. Those are all the songs that was performed on it. Great version of Los Angeles on here, along with the Very Lights. And the last Genesis album that featured Phil Collins, this is Genesis Live, The Way We Walk. A concert at Albert Hall in 1982. Songs that were a long time hit. Also on this videotape before they show the actual concert, they show a documentary from Dallas, Texas, the rehearsals of this tour. So how they put the stage together, how they put the video portion of this together. Really, really cool video. And something I really love, and I saved it for last, a BBC documentary, Genesis: A History, on VHS. I think this is now, a few years ago this was released on DVD. But this is a complete documentary from the very beginning of the band all the way to 1990, excuse me. 1990. They have Genesis reuniting at the Nebworth concert in 1990. So you got Genesis along with the Phil Collins band performing Turning On Again. Very, very cool documentary. One of the best documentaries ever made on this band. And real glad to have that VHS still. Alright, that's it, folks. That is my Genesis concert collection, I guess you could say. And as you can see, Genesis, this band really meant a lot to me. They're my all-time favorite band. And, their music really inspires me. It turned me into the musician I am. It turned me into the person I am. And I just can't get enough of their music. It makes me want to go out. And all these videos I've surfaced lately makes me want to go out and get the rare compilations, the 7-inch singles, anything with the Genesis name on it. I just want to grab it and own it. I didn't even go into DVDs, bootlegs, or anything like that. That's a whole other half-hour video. But anyway, that is my Genesis Live collection, and I will see you at the next video.